If a man marries a woman unknowingly to him that the woman is pregnant for someone, and later he discovered that she is pregnant, what is the faith of the marriage? Basically, there is no marriage. It is absolutely forbidden to propose to a woman who is in her iddah. The iddah means the waiting period. Let's say that a woman is divorced. والمطلقات يتربصن بأنفسهن ثلاثة قروء. Let the divorced women wait for 3 periods before accepting any marriage proposals, before considering the divorce irrevocable and eternal. Otherwise, if the husband decided to revoke his divorce before either 3 periods, 3 menstruations, or 3 lunar months, if a woman doesn't experience the period for a reason or another, then she's on her own. The divorce is eternal, irrevocable, ba'in. And in this case, she can accept proposals. But it is not permissible for a person to propose to a woman while she is in the iddah, whether due to death or divorce. She's like married already. And when Allah the Almighty says 3 periods, and according to the more right view, the period here refers to, or al-qur' refers to the menstruation, that means if a woman is divorced and she experiences 1 period, then another menstruation, then a 3rd menstruation, that's kind of assurance that she is not pregnant. She is not pregnant. But in fact, some people rush and they take the decision. What if she's pregnant? You know, after she's divorced and all of a sudden the period is kind of late, so she ran a pregnancy test and she found herself pregnant. Then forget about the 3 quru', the 3 periods or the 3 lunar months. The iddah now has been changed to delivering the baby. It maybe lasts for 9 months, it doesn't matter, even if it lasts for longer, whether it is shorter or longer. Yani, if a woman was already pregnant and her husband divorced her while she's pregnant and he knows that she's already 8 months, 9 months pregnant, for a reason or another he divorced her, but he divorced her before giving birth. A couple days later, a couple weeks later, she gave birth, then the iddah is over. أن يضعن حملهن. To give birth is the period. That is even less than 3 quru'. Correct. That's right. وَأُولَاتُ الْأَحْمَالِ. Those who are already pregnant. أَجَلُهُنَّ. Their waiting period after divorce is to give birth. أن يضعن حملهن. Fine. Which leaves no room for any person to say, well, I didn't know that I was pregnant. If you waited for 3 periods, you would have definitely found out that you're already pregnant. But let's assume that she didn't know. In this case, the marriage, as it did not happen, and this pregnancy belongs to the husband, and the husband, the ex-husband, and they're still already married, and the man who married her while she's pregnant, unknowingly as you said, this marriage is nullified. There is no marriage. So you separate from her immediately. She doesn't belong to you. She is still married to the ex-husband. All of that because of the pregnancy. It is very beautiful to learn how Islam protects the family lineage. Now it is not about the ex-husband and the ex-wife. It's not about you and a woman whom you're married to, even on papers now. It's about the baby who belongs to al-firash. This baby is as a result of sexual relationship between the ex-husband and his wife. And he still maintains the marriage relationship between the parents, even though he said you are divorced. So the iddah will be prolonged until giving birth. So she will, the ex-husband now can take her back if he wants to, okay? As long as it is before giving birth. I hope you understand that clearly. On the other hand, now we assume the good intention that you guys didn't know. On the other hand, Allah the Almighty said in the Quran, الزاني لا ينكح إلا زانية أو مشركة والزانية لا ينكحها إلا زان أو مشرك وحرم ذلك على المؤمنين. That is in the beginning of Surah An-Nur. What does it mean? Keep this ayah in mind, and let's also look into ayah number 5 of Surah Al-Ma'idah, when Allah the Almighty said, وَالْمُحْصَنَاتُ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنَاتِ وَالْمُحْصَنَاتُ مِنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ. So Allah the Almighty allowed us to marry whom? To marry the chaste women, al-afifat, muhsanat, plural of muhsana, which means chaste. Al-muhsanatu min al-mu'minat. And that's why when I process a marriage contract in the United States or in the UK or in non-Muslim societies, and I know that this girl is not a Muslim girl, she says that she's Christian and she goes to the church, or she's Jewish, and she's in love with this Muslim man and they want to get married. So I trust that the Muslim man is chaste, and I ask her, have you been with a man lately? As you know that in the West, people do not mind having intimate relationship out of wedlock, out of, marriage relationship. They can live together and they can separate, and as a result of that, she may conceive, she may get pregnant, and then they figure out later on. And perhaps as a result of having multiple sexual relationships, she may actually get pregnant and she doesn't know who's the father, and that's why they resort to the DNA, who is the father. Very confusing and very problematic. Even sometimes in the case of married people, because she's not sure after having multiple sexual relations, in a matter of a few weeks. So they resort to the DNA test. Allah the Almighty says, so I asked the woman if she's been with another man in the past 6 months, in the past 6 years. When she says, yes, I just broke up with my boyfriend. When? The last couple of weeks. Then I met this guy and it was on Valentine's Day and I fell in love with him. I tell him, my friend, it is not permissible to marry this girl. Oh no, Shaykh, Allah says you can marry Ahlul Kitab. Even if she's Muslim girl, you cannot marry her. In Islam, outside marriage relationship is adultery, is fornication. You don't tell me that she is your girlfriend and you didn't tell me that he's my boyfriend. This is called adultery, okay? So I'm not allowed to marry this girl because she's perceived as she's been in an adultery relationship, an illicit relationship, even if you both are in love. And your question may have happened as a result of that. You just meet somebody, you were having Starbucks together and you liked each other, or you were doing some activities together, you met a girl and you liked her, and then you decided to get married. Don't rush, especially in societies where this is very common. You have to investigate, you have to find out, because if she is not muhsana, then it is not permissible to marry her.